today we have Dimitri here with CoolTool. He's the CEO. Before we get going, just wanted to remind you, make sure to drop where you're tuning in from in the chat. Let us know, put your LinkedIn in there, just see who else is tuning in to see this great tech that we have today for ad testing. But Dimitri, I will hand it off to you.
Thank you, Natalie. Okay, hello everyone. Today I would like to tell you about how and demonstrate how we use different non-conscious techniques, obviously with our platforms, how we use these techniques to test and optimize all kind of digital media content with focus on advertisement. So why my presentation is not moving? Yeah, it's moving. So there are three main challenges we will cover today, and there are three main measurements we would like to focus today. First is visual attention, because unnoticeable content simply doesn't work. And so to have to grab this user attention is the key for the future success, of course. And another thing is about measuring emotional engagement and involvement of our content, how we can do this on scale, because if we engage with our ads emotionally, then it works much better and it stays in memory and it simply provoke better purchase decisions. So this is very important and crucial for our ads to do this. And third, we also measure how our communication impacts implicit perception of advertised category or advertised brand, which is also important because not every ad is simply about call to action. It's also about building. It's also about building some relationships and about building some implicit memories about advertised brands. So I will demonstrate you how we do this and how we measure this. So I will start with a brief presentation covering how we're doing this, and then I will demonstrate our platform solutions. So you'll see how to do this yourself, because all our tools are self-service. So we are trying to test all the stimuli, all the advertisements, as much as possible in context. So for the user, the exercise is to visit website, to do like some purchases or to watch the ad, and we're trying to do this in environments. So this could be scrollable environments, this could be live websites, or sometimes it's just standalone testing in the questionnaire. But again, we are trying to do this test in more context, as much more context as we can. So these are like our three superpowers. We can observe user behavior in natural environments. We can measure the user attention and facial expressions using the webcam. And we can ask follow-up questions, ask feedback, and use implicit tests to measure the impact of this communication. All these technologies are our proprietary, and we use responded devices, so it's device agnostic. It works on both desktop and mobile devices. We will cover today briefly all types of different communication. We focus on digital, and we will talk about static ads. We will talk about video ads. We will talk about product marketing stimuli, because this is also kind of promotion, those stimuli brands use in Amazon or in any other e-com environments. A long video in like educational video or some shows, and audio branding assets. So everywhere it's important to be noticeable, it's important to engage emotionally, and it's very important to do some implicit impact. So I will start with static ads. For static ads, it's really important to be noticeable, and we can test scrollable environments. So it's just the website respondent in the questionnaire can just scroll and click anywhere. he like, and we on the way measuring noticeability of all the elements and including our ads, measuring number of respondents who look at this area, number of fixations. We can also show ads full size and measure where the attention goes, how branding works, how messaging works, and this is very important also to do this in context, because context really matter. Based on our needs, our attention works different way. And we can see attention grabbing order. We can understand involvement of all the elements drawing the area of interest for this for different zones. For product stimuli, for product marketing stimuli, for packaging stimuli, these are also our communication online. And here's a lot of competition, because these brands compete on the digital shelves heavily, and we need to understand how strong is the attention capacity to grab attention for different packages or different package stimuli. We can randomize shelves and check all the statistics, and we can do A/B testing, and we can, for the brand new test, for the brand new packages, we can test also brand similarity and test on blurred shelf. So we can understand which brands quite similar to ours, and how fast it takes for the respondents to recognize the brands they need. We also could measure the implicit impact of different product marketing stimuli. We use response time test, we use implicit priming test to understand not only do consumers consider this brand for example, I don't know, innovative or reliable or whatever. We also could measure the confidence index. So how strong is that connection between the stimuli we are testing and different image characteristics. For video testing, we also use same technologies, but in different order. So I would say that for video content nowadays, it's not that really important to test to use eye tracking as the first technology, because almost every advertiser right now can focus user attention on something like on one single object at a time. So it goes like one by one. And eye tracking normally deliver not that big level of, let's say, insights, while actually getting and keeping user attention is the key. And we can see here that for some ads in the same campaign, in one of the campaign, we can see the strong loss of interest when we started, when the main storyline finished and we started with messages and brands, so they lost the interest. Another metric really important for testing video ads is emotional engagement, and we can measure not only emotional involvement and the number of positive, negative emotions. We can categorize these ads like with for different groups. Are starting with positive and finishing with positive, or is it like emotional roller coaster? And we also can benchmark these emotions, so we can tell, we can show not only fancy timelines about that. Yes, this ad has like more positive responses in the ad, or for this ad there are both positive and negative responses. We can actually categorize this and compare this with benchmark and tell that, okay, in fact, you can see positive emotions, but this is very weak positive effects for this ad. And for the rest of ads, both positive and negative involvement is low. So that means it will actually it will not resonate with the audience at all. We can use eye tracking for video ads. but in some specific cases, it's very useful. So, for example, if we need to measure attention to some messages or to the branding elements or to the product placement, if the product placed in some areas inside of our ad, we can mark this area of interest and see and check like how many people actually notice this product or brand. And for some ads, when there are, for example, two characters, and for example, we tested this Peloton ad, and it was quite contradictionally perceived by audience. We can see different emotional perception of two different characters, and with help of eye tracking, we can cross-analyze facial expressions data with eye tracking data. And as well, we can use for video testing. Also, it's a good method to use implicit testing. For different things, for to measure likability, overall emotional appeal of the brand, for example, for exposed and non-exposed group, we can do this. We can measure also. Mapping, we can do mapping of emotions by arousal, emotional arousal, and the valence. We can again check the impact of our communication on perception of the brand, because again, after communication, after exposing the stimuli, some characteristic can grow, and we could measure how it works even on implicit level. For measuring long video content, also the key is to take and grab attention. I will not stop here. Measuring attention, measuring emotions is very important. But we also have another technique. We combine measuring emotions with the slider. So respondent can literally swipe the slider on the screen of the device if they like or don't like the content, if they trust or don't trust the content, and we can combine these measurements and get really interesting results. Eye tracking sometimes is needed only if you want to measure efficiency of product or brand placement. And testing audio brand assets, those sonic logos music, brand music. Right now, it's very popular, and this is also type of like communication and digital content. And we also use media slider with emotional engagement, measuring emotional engagement to define good and bad moments, and to define which of the potential sounds resonates better with our audience. So we do this, as I mentioned, in context. We're measuring this in environments, and we can test this using, we have two platforms. We have CoolTool. You can think about CoolTool as survey first solution. So this is a kind of survey platform with integrated neuro test inside. And for the respondents, the whole experience looks like survey. And in reality, these are experience-first solutions. So we ask respondents to visit website or mobile app, and we test in all the communication and all the content inside of live or natural simulated environments. These environments could be just simple scrollable environments. This could be simulated YouTube and Instagram. I will demonstrate you this. And we can create environments on demand because, for example, for social media, sometimes it's really important because privacy is the key. Nobody wants to show the real feed, and you need to be creative to test ads and to test communication inside of these digital environments. So in general, we adding non-conscious measurements, we empower your ability to get really holistic insights, not just asking questions, but adding all these three measurements I mentioned: visual attention, emotional engagement, and implicit impact. And right now, let me demonstrate how it looks inside of our platforms. So we have CoolTool, and CoolTool, as I mentioned, everything feel and look like, and it is a robust survey system. In this survey system, you can add different questions and just mix all of them with very advanced logic, with piping, with any other features, randomization, everything. And then you can add Nero tests. So to test your ad, like static ad, you just add an image. If you want to test a scrollable environment, you can choose, for example, to make a website screenshot, or you can upload your own screenshots for A/B testing with different ads on it. And then respondents will see, as a part of the questionnaire, they will go through calibration procedure, and they can click after like doing some task on this scrollable Amazon page. And then you can collect your responses using integrated panels. We have Synth and Dynata panels integrated. So if you choose your audience, you will get availability of the sample, and you will get all these results right here in the platform. And these results shown as the reports. So when you collected your sample, you have this data in format of presentation. So you can export this actually to fully editable PowerPoint. And so you can see eye tracking metrics. You can cross-analyze some data. There are some filters here. So you can build charts. You can build tables for emotions. You can build timelines for overall engagement and see like moment by moment involvement. You can also observe in the report video heat maps. You can work with individual recordings too, and you can see aggregated data. You can filter all this. You can filter all this by any variables, and you can do cross analysis of all non-conscious measurements with stated response. You also have all automated results for implicit testing. If there is a statistical difference, it will be highlighted here in the report with the star, for example, here. The results of response time test are shown with highlighting confidence of the respondent responses. Do they perceive this as innovative or modern, and all with average confidence, how this confidence change with exposed or unexposed samples. And then you can export all this to, again, as I mentioned, to PowerPoint. You also can export in your platform. We have raw data, so you can export this raw data to SPSS or Excel for the future very advanced analysis. In our platform, you can also organize quality control, so you can remove all bad results for speed quality, or for those like pattern takers, or for open-end questions. You can group open-end questions. You can analyze recordings, and we're proud that our eye tracking technology delivers around 70 to 80% of usable recordings, which is really good for the market. Some interviews, the bad quality, they automatically disqualified. So for example, here we can see that it was strong backlight. That's why the respondent moves a lot. We automatically filtered him out from the study. So this is the CoolTool. This is a first platform. And as I told you, that we have another platform for digital testing, and that platform called Reality. And in Reality, we can work with live websites like Amazon, so we can test everything that is placed on Amazon. And we can create simulated environments. So this is, for example, how YouTube looks. So you can Google for something like Tesla car, and you will get content about this. And this could be fresh content from the YouTube, and then you can click anywhere, and you will be interrupted with ads, and we can measure all user reactions, like where they stop this or skip this, or where the attention goes in the live content. Same for Instagram, so it feels and looks like Instagram, and like with stories, so you can see all different things, and you can add different contents inside. And results, and this is very great technology, because we are not doing like just screen recording, we're analyzing every element of the website. So for example, if we tested BBC website, we can see how different content works, including ads. This is the all the scroll, and we have scroll depth maps, we have scroll time maps, so how much time they spent on each element, how long this element was on the screen. This could be content, this could be ad. And we can also understand how noticeable is this content with opacity maps, with order of view for different elements, for different ads, for how strong is the interest. These are aggregated heat maps and repeated interest. So how many times the gaze back to this area of interest. We can measure engagement. It could be both behavioral engagement, how many mouse overs, how many clicks, and maps of positive and negative emotions for this stimuli, for this layout, and for our ads. Accordingly, and then for all this area of interest, for navigation, for content elements and ads content elements, we can see how different ads perform in terms of time to scroll, time on screen, how strong they're in catching attention, repeated interest, what kind of emotions we provoke with the content here. This is really a new way of testing all sort of stimuli. So then you can, of course, also ask questions, and we have survey results here. But survey is not the biggest part of Reality project. Reality is all about testing your ads, communication, and digital environments themselves in real life, in context, with measuring both attention and facial expressions. And yes, you can also, if needed, you can go deeper, and you can analyze in very advanced way. You can analyze every recording. You can see how it feels for every respondent. So you can switch between, for example, heat map and opacity map. You can play with emotions here. You can define some special moments and see what really provokes, what kind of emotions we provoke, and each with each element. But again, all these results are here also aggregated. Actually, that's it. This is everything what I wanted to deliver you today. So thank you very much, and I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Awesome. So it looks like we've had a few roll in already, so that's a great thing to see. The first of which is coming from Raphael, and it says, how do you ensure you have a good calibration for the best form of participants, and are online surveys the best environment?
Okay, so we have special procedures for to ensure that the calibration was good. So after the calibration, actually the whole experience, we're just recording this calibration. We can tell this only afterwards. We cannot provide the real-time feedback, your calibration to the respondents, that your calibration was good or your calibration was bad. We can tell that afterwards, after the interview, we can analyze every respondent and see consistency of his like gaze positions, and tell, yes, this calibration was very successful, it was good. Another calibration another calibration was not that good. But we do provide real-time feedback to a respondent behavior. So if respondents start moving a lot during the test, or if he switch off the light or something happened, because people are really creative in breaking the rules. So really we give this immediate feedback. And if they start behave badly even during the calibration, so they start they're not following DOT or they're doing something wrong, we are providing this real-time feedback to them. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, awesome. And it looks like another one just rolled in from Elizabeth, and it says, how is engagement measured during video viewing?
Okay, so we measuring this with a simplified procedure. It's like, you can call this very simplified eye tracking. So we know at every point of time if respondent is looking at screen or not, and we are measuring his facial expressions. So this works for both desktop and mobile devices, and you don't need calibration. This is a very good thing. So you just need to activate the camera, and you can even move with the device. We can understand if you're looking inside of the device or not while we're showing this content. So a long video, you can watch series, but if you're doing something, if you're distracted, we can understand that, yes, this moment everyone was distracted at this time. And even like they lost interest to the ad. In ad testing, we were surprised actually that even on short stimuli, this attention works a lot. So if respondents can escape, they escape in somewhere with their attention.
Awesome. And you might have already touched on this one, but from Robert, it says, is this intended to be DIY, or does CoolTool do it for you? And I'm not sure if that's specific to
No,
just overall.
I believe it's a really good question, because we created all our tools as do-it-yourself, but what we learn that our clients also need some time to adopt for this do-it-yourself. So first projects, we normally do it together to educate our clients, because everyone has his own practices to, for example, for ad testing, for something else. And sometimes it's not very straightforward process. Sometimes we need to integrate our technology into someone else's technologies just to add these non-conscious measurements on top of regular metrics this company receiving every day. So again, for advanced users, it's do-it-yourself from the beginning. For many users who have no experience or have no time, it's a perfect way to start with do it together, and then with significant volumes to go to do it yourself.
Awesome. And it looks like we are running a little bit short on time, but I think we have time to answer one more question. So this one is from Jenna. It says, how much variation do you see with the video response tracking? If I tested with the same ad with two different samples, would I see similar response charts? How do you account for fluctuations?
Like everywhere, I have 25 years of market research background, and I actually like to follow all good principles of keeping sample consistent. If you're doing this test between, like monadic test between two different groups, of course you need to check that your groups are very consistent. You have the same number of male, female, ages, everything. So if it's consistent, then results also will be reliable. If those groups are not consistent, you need either reweight it, or next time you need to really check your field work. This is one of the crucial things for monadic tests especially.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dimitri, so much for all of the lovely responses. If anybody has any questions after this, please follow up with the CoolTool team. They'd be more than happy to answer those for you. But we are going to move on to our next session. So thank you, everybody, for being here, and thanks for all the questions. All right.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.